You know we all are. You know we're all expected to be. You know we all can be and have in us to be. And the Mesilas Yesharim believes in us and shares with us that we need to be. What? Tzadikim, Nizgavim, Malachim, Bikim B'Shas. No. Problem solvers. Solution-oriented people. Those who come up with creative solutions to problems. Where am I getting this from? From our Perek. We mentioned this point, but I really want to clarify it and just dedicate a short session, a short addendum, because I think it's such an important part of everything Mesilas Yesharim is talking about, and an important and unknown part of our solution. I don't know if everybody has heard in the drasha a Rav getting up and say, "You guys are problem solvers." Right? And in the team, sometimes in a business team, you have that guy who is coming with the solutions, who's creative, who thinks about third way thinking, win-win. Well, guess what? That's all of us. Let's see. Because the Mesilas Yesharim said early in the Perek how a person has to judge his actions, b'shas ma'isa, b'shlo b'shas ma'isa, and you have to judge them, what's good, what's bad, etc. That part we're used to. And when we think cheshbon and nefesh, we're used to that. But here's the chiddush. V'im yimtza behem min hara az yidbonein. Reflect, think, delve into, wonder. V'yakor b'sichlo. In your seichel, bichoker, delve into. A hakira is two ways of looking things in yeshivas. But yakor means like a choker, someone who investigates. Investigate. Eze tachbula yasa. What tachbula? What can I do? What strategy can I do to get out of this mess? Lasur min harahu litar mimeno. What? I would have said, what do you mean? You find a problem yourself? Run to the tzaddik, alive or dead. You find a problem yourself? Daven. You find a problem yourself? Throw up your hands. No. Says the Mesilas Yesharim, it's an incredible line. We have to think about it. Yachkor b'sichlo, eza tachbul yasa. Who says you can do it? But his basic hanacha is you can do it. Right? And all those who've adopted Mesilas Yesharim as a book which is for us are saying that this is something that we can do. He's our guide in this also. Of course, we need siyata d'shmaya, as we said at the end of the Perek, the second Perek. Imlo ozo, imoli ozo, and yachalo. Without siyata d'shmaya, and in our thinking, we also need siyata d'shmaya. That's true, but realize we need siyata d'shmaya is very different from throwing up our hands and saying, I don't know, let me run to my Rebbe, let me run to my Rav. Every time I have an issue, I have a problem. That's not the way. Yachkor b'sichlo. Eza tachbula yasa. What tachbula can I do to fix this problem? How do I get around this anger issue I have? How do I get around this using my phone too much? How do I get around Bittul Torah, making starim? Yachkor b'sichlo. How do I deal with my lashon hara? Now, of course, there are times when a person thinks and he's stuck. The Gemara in Brachos tells us, "Ein adam matir atzmo mi ein chavish matir atzmo mi beis yisurim." Someone who's bound, someone who's stuck, can't always get out. There are issues which we need help for, of course. And when a person needs help, he has to reach out for help. And there are things which are beyond us, psychological issues, Torah issues, etc. We need Rabbanim. I'm the first one to, when I'm in my younger years for sure, I turn to my Rabbanim all the time. I'm old, it's hard to get to them, but when I can, I try to. Recently I went to two of my Rabbanim about different things, of course. And it was all good to get a certain amount of questions. Obviously that's part of the picture. But it's a totally different world when a person sees himself. I'm a problem solver. I'm an Avodas Hashem problem solver as I grow and as I develop. And I'm the one who knows myself best. And I'm the one who has to judge and think about what I can do to deal with this problem. I need outside help. I need a consultant. I need a Rav. Of course, fine, take it. But not without first considering yourself where you can get up to and seeing the eights which can work for you. It's such a training, it's such a way of looking at yourself. And what moves me when I was omen on this, I don't think in the other times I've learned Mesilas Yesharim, I've ever this point didn't stand out with such clarity. That's why we keep learning. That's why we review the deep words of the great Rebbe over here to think about them again and see them again and run into new ideas and new concepts which need to be said. Yaakov B'Sichlo, it's for all of us. Every Jew has to be a problem solver. Some of us are better at it. Some of us are worse. Just like every other talent. But all of us have to be involved in that. Never see yourself as someone who's just, my hands are up, I get to my issues, I don't know how to deal with them. And I know myself as a Rebbe, when there's a Talmud who's himself working on solutions, and then he can come to me, and we can talk about what he sees and what I see. It's a different world than someone who's just coming without any of his own thoughts about his own situation, without any knowledge of what he does. He's not a player, he's much less a player, he's much less involved in the process. I think it's a very, very inspiring line. A very, very inspiring line that's something that's inside of us. And that really was what creates this three-part structure, which I can't stop saying because I think it's such a good way to think about the whole picture. What's the Ratzon HaTorah? Where am I? How do I get there? What's the Ratzon HaTorah? Where am I? How do I get there? It's not enough just to do Cheshbon Nefesh and say, I'm good, I'm bad, and go to sleep. What's the Ratzon HaTorah? Where am I holding? How do I make the next step? But how do I make the next step? I can know how to make the step. I have that in me to go and continue. And I think when a person's in that kind of, like, it's such, that can-do, positive, moving out of my problems insight. So I'm adding one other point now. It's not just the ability, but it's the way we look at ourselves. When you say someone's a problem solver, there's a lot of positivity to that. It's not just the problem that they're solving, it's the attitude that they bring to the business, to the startup, to the yeshiva. Right. A lot of people, are always talking about, this is wrong and this is wrong. Okay, what can we do about it? That's the problem. Fine, great. Now what? Let's just talk about this wrong a lot with media, just getting into all the problems of the world. What are we trying to do? It's not solution-oriented. When we hear the word solution-oriented, it's positive. We like that. We want to be around that solution-oriented man or woman. That's good energy. That's positive energy. We're moving in the right direction. We're moving towards something. So it's two milas that we have in this Mesilas Yesharim. One, of course, most importantly, most basically, that we fix the problem. I'm going to speak Lashon Hara. I'm going to learn more Torah. I'm going to get less distracted. I'm going to focus better in davening and come on time to davening, and stay at the end of davening, etc. Do more chesed. All the things that I feel one feels they have to work on. You're going to get to those incredibly, incredibly important things, what we're here in this world to do. But it's also the whole essence of what type of person you become. When you're a problem-solving oriented person, you're someone who's positive, who's moving forward, who's not just sitting and complaining. That's a different life, a different world. So we should take that line seriously and bring it home to ourselves. Yitbonin b'sichlo v'yachor b'sov. Which tachbula? So you have the answers, friends.